Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. This is Mythical Sausage. How is everybody doing? Oh man, today we're back again doing another Minecraft video, but this one's gonna be a little bit different. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions of you guys asking me, Sausage, how do I get inspiration for making Minecraft builds? Where do you go? What websites do you use? And when you find that inspiration, how do you convert that into a Minecraft build? So today, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an example. So, I went over to this website. There's a couple sites I go to, Pinterest and ArtStation, and just normal Google. But if you type any type of building style, let's say medieval house, right? And then you type concept art, stuff like that, you get a lot of awesome inspirational pics. I found this one right here on ArtStation, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the screen. Also gonna leave it up there on the corner so you guys can take a look and see it throughout this whole building process. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert this picture that I see here into a Minecraft build. We're gonna pick the palette, we're gonna build it on the scene right here, just live, right? So it's not really a tutorial, more like a let's build. We're gonna build this together and see if we can match that art to a Minecraft build. So let's get it started right now. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do, we gotta pick the block palette, alright? We gotta pick what combinations of blocks would make it look as close to that build as possible. And another thing, you don't have to build it exactly block for block as you see it. You can take liberties with it. It's your own build. Minecraft is infinite. You can come up with maybe a different way to set it up, and you don't even have to go with the palette that's presented to you. Maybe you just like the shape, and you don't really like the color palette. You can change that up too. But for this video's purposes, go as close to that build as possible. So if you notice on the bottom, there's lots of different stones. It's weathered, so that's where the texturing comes in that I like to do. So I'm gonna bring in stone. Let's bring a little bit of cobble. Let's bring a little bit of andesite. I think that'll be a pretty good combination for the stone bottom. Also, let's go with some stone brick too. If you notice on the lower left corner, it looks like there's like a stone brick kind of base leading up to a log, right? And now the log, what do we do with that log? Let's see, what's a good combination that'll look like that log? So I'm thinking it doesn't look like an actual bark block, right? It looks almost like a stripped version. So maybe the stripped spruce, maybe? You can even go with a stripped dark oak, might look pretty good, but I think we're gonna go with a stripped spruce log. Now on the top, if you notice, there's different whites. So I'm gonna go with white concrete for that one, for the good looking white part, but there's also a lot of broken, cracked versions. So what's a good version of a cracked white block? Yes, I hate diorite in itself, but it looks really good when you're breaking it down with the white. So I'm getting converted, okay? My friend B-Does converted me a little bit with that castle we did on Hermitcraft. So this is looking pretty good. Also, now we gotta figure out some steps too. There's some steps to get up, right? So let's go with some stairs. I'm gonna go with, you know what? Let's go with a mix of the stone brick stairs and also stone stairs to give you that cool little bit. But we're running out of block space, right? So let's go ahead and put some down here. So let's drop this down real fast. All right, there we go. We're laying it down. Now, what else are we going to need for this build? So I'm thinking we're going to be needing, there's some, like that fencing, that little balcony bit, right? I think spruce would be a good combination for that. So what if we get maybe some stairs? Let's get some trapdoors. Let's get slabs. Also, the little under part right there. I think with fence gates, that might be a good trick to actually give that support on the bottom. So let's go with that. So I think so far we're so good. Everything is looking awesome. And also let's spruce doors, get a spruce door in there. And then maybe just regular spruce planks. Get the whole spruce family in there. I love it. Now that roof on the top, that looks very dark prismarine, right? It's gonna be tough for people to get if you're doing it in survival. So other options, if you're on 116, you can use that warped block. That's a beautiful color. That's kind of similar to that, but we're not in 150. We're not in 116 right? So we're gonna go with another one. I'm gonna go with dark prismarine because I want to match it. But other options, just go with different wood types. Maybe even a stone trim with a spruce base. Stuff like that might be pretty good. But I'm gonna try to match it. So I'm gonna go with dark prismarine. If you got it, use it. Why not? So let's go with. Let's bring the whole prismarine family. So hold on. Let's lay down more blocks. All right, the block list is getting filled up. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do, you see that thatch roof on the right? I could go with hay bales, and that is a good option. The only thing that I never really liked about hay bales is that we can't slab it, stair it. So I'm gonna go with something that's gonna look similar to what we could do with hay bales, but we could do it with, watch this, we could do it with oak, and we can have slabs and stairs of it. We could bring even some of these strips in there to break it up, and then we can make it look really fancy and nice. So I'm gonna bring in that for that little thatch roof section. And I think we are good to go to get it started. The only thing, there's nothing in the back for this build. There's nothing in the back part, but it's okay. I think we can just play around and figure it out. So let's get this started. All right, let's start out with the layout, the facade of the build, to see if we can get it somewhat matching. So if you notice, the bottoms were using some stone and we're using that stripped spruce log. Now in there, it looked like there was like a little window. We could have gone with a single window, but I went with a double just to break it up, get a little bit more space in between those beams that you see there. So it looks pretty cool. Also came up with that archway. It does look like a single door, but to make it look a little bit more extravagant, make it stand out a little bit, I did recess it in, and then I gave it that little bit of texture like it looks like it needs it, because it looks like a broken wall, right? So for this little corner bit, I went with a 7 wide on this one, and I think that gives us enough space to play around with it, plus giving you that stairwell up, and that's a pretty big step up. If you notice, we went with a 3 wide step and then an extra little border around it with technically it's like a 4 wide, right? So we got the little railing to get up to the top, and I think we're doing so far so good over here. With the door, I kind of saw the way the door is placed on that picture, and it looked like it's a little bit too weird. It's in a weird spot, right, compared to the balcony, so I decided to lift it up a little bit, and I think that worked out in the end. So here, I went with a really low balcony here. So I was looking at it at the beginning, I was like, you know what, let's test this out. Nah, it's a little bit too low. Too low. It looks like you can technically jump and hit your head. So I went up a little bit more on this one, and we went in line to where the door was, but I actually lifted up one higher so we can play with elevations on the interiors later on. I'm going to show you guys. But over here, initially I went with a smaller door, but I was like, nah, let's match the door we have at the bottom, make it a 3 high, and I think we did a good job with that. Also recessed it in with, you'll see in a little bit. And then with this little part underneath, I never do this. This gave me inspiration by looking at that concept art, putting some of the fence gates underneath that balcony. Oh man, I'm gonna use that from now on. It changed the game as far as like support structures, right? And we do tweak it a little bit, but that really gave us some inspiration. Now in the back, we don't have a picture of the back. Sometimes these concept arts, it's just the picture in the front, and that's all you're gonna get. So it's up to you guys to come up with ways to incorporate kind of what we learned in the front and bring it to the back. And I think we did a good job here, adding that little chimney action right there, because you can kind of see it through the other side in the picture. I added that piece, and I think it came out pretty cool. We are gonna be modifying that a little bit to make it look even better in a second. But then over here, there's a little overhang. Now this overhang, I actually made it bigger than what the picture looks like, because I think it looks a little bit better just having that Minecraft scale, making it look a little bit taller, going up against the wall right there, and the entrance looks really, really awesome. Now initially with this roof, I went with the spruce, but I was like, nah, let's give it some dark oak trim, so that spruce, it's the contrast, we need that contrast change. So I went with this right here with the dark oak lining, and then with the dark prismarine in the inside. Now this looks awesome. I could have gone just dark prismarine, but you definitely want to keep a little bit of a border here. Now the top part, it was racking my brain. I had no idea how to set this up. Initially we went with the iron bars, but bringing in that dark oak fence gate and fence combo, matching the border and the trim, oh, it looks so good, and I love it. But this one right here, if you notice, there's no windows up there, but it's broken. It has a lot of broken pieces, so why not try that out and put those little broken pieces on the top by just adding stairs, slabs, full blocks, leaving holes open like that. And then you can leave it open just like that, or you can give it almost like a recessed in texture with maybe some planks or something like that. For me, I left it open so you can technically see what's going on up there, and finishing off that chimney looks really, really cool. Now right here, I started to add that little backdrop, that recessed in door, and I gave it a little bit more dark oak there. In the bottom, I initially put it with spruce, but I kind of like that texture change, so I went ahead and I added that to the bottom part. Now over here, kept up with the spruce trim, just like you see there in the picture, and I think it looks really awesome, giving you that little spruce lining with the white in there. This part though, this was awesome. I changed this though, because in the picture, it looks like the sign right there is in the back. So here initially, I put it in the front because I wanted you to see it really good, plus the overhang kind of blocked it a little bit, but we do change it up later on, and I do end up putting it in the back, matching what we did to that picture. Now here we go. This is like a little bit of a forge area, and I love this thing. Initially I had it kind of like a little bit of a smaller build where we have the thatch roof and stuff, but I decided to keep it straight because in the picture, if you notice, and I know it's a little picture, but you can see, I'll give you guys the link, don't worry. It's kind of, it looks like it's connecting that same line, so we kept that theme up. We didn't want to make it too small, but that forge, that little baby forge looks so cool, and I do add a couple little tweaks to it to make it look even cooler. Now here we go, setting up that little attachment. It kind of looks like it doesn't even belong to the build. It kind of like looks like it was attached after, so that's why you know it's like the textures are different. But you could have used some thatch here, some actual thatch, which is hay. It would have looked cool, but I think by doing this out of the oak, we could definitely play around with the style. If you notice here, it looks very simple at the beginning, but we do roughen it up. Add that smooth little texture of the stripped oak, makes it look so cool. Also, we break it up even more later on, and you'll see it makes it look a lot more rustic and roughened down. Now, this build has so many chimneys. Here's another one, and they all look different, which is really cool. And then we added a little baby chimney. If you notice in the picture, there's like this little tiny little smokestack little pop out there, kind of very fantasy style. So we kind of curve it out and shoot it out there with some walls, some cobble walls and some stone brick walls. And then over here, I wanted to make this out of the campfire blocks, and that changed the game. Having it animated, having it look like there's actually stuff going in there instead of just your typical, let's put a little bit of magma blocks or lava. That looks so cool. Now back here, we had to add some more detail. So I went in and put a little back door there. You know, I don't see the picture with the back door. We don't see it at all, but you know what? I put a back door. Why not? Here is all experimentation, using what you learned from the front and putting it in the back. And here we added a little bit of a door. Also, we don't have a balcony back here, but what I love to do when it comes to second and first floor separations is put a little bit of a trim. So we have some upside down stairs and slabs there, which looks really, really awesome. Now, we're gonna start detailing this according to the picture. There's details, right? There's a bunch of stuff. Not only the build is there, but in these concept arts, you gotta get a lot of details, like what's little add-ons you could do. So we put some barrels. We put a little bit of a weapon rack right there. If you notice, also there's like a little bit of a doormat right there, right? It's pretty cool. Also adding things that you think should belong out here. So you have this little forge. It's being used with campfire, so why not add some logs? Add some unlit campfires that you can use there to just maybe throw it in there later. Also add a little bit of a chopping block right there with an axe on top of the log, having a different log too to show that it's meant for that, right? Also that there's a tiny little table there in the outside and also a cart. So I went ahead and added those because why not? You don't have to, but you know, we're trying to copy a little bit of the inspiration we're getting from that concept art. Why not add that little bit? And that cart's inspiration. I need to use that more often. Remember that cart, all right? Don't you forget. Now, according to the picture, there's also a little bit more crates and more outside storage, and this little, almost like a brazier kind of thing right there with a little flame coming out with the poof of smoke, and that was really awesome. Also, I started modifying this a little bit right here to add a little bit more support to the under part of that bit right there in the balcony. Now, if you notice in the concept art, there is these little pieces of wood kind of like coming out of the bottom of the overhang roof, and I went with the gates, and that's a really cool trick. I don't think I've ever used that, but this concept art, man, is opening up my mind to new possibilities, and that's what the cool thing about looking at these concept arts would be, is you can check out things that you probably never even thought of and try to implement that in Minecraft. Hopefully, though, that this helps you guys a little bit, using concept art to your advantage to add more life, try new tricks, and get inspired to build a bunch of new structures in Minecraft. And all this completely winged live as you see it, looking at the picture and trying to come up with something cool in the background. And yeah. And there it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I added a couple little things along the way. Also in the interior, we have it all fully furnished. So let me go ahead and jump on in here and show you guys what we have. But yeah, this all came out of a little bit of concept art. What do you guys think? This is so cool. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. I added also, if you notice in the picture, there's a couple like towels kind of like wrapped over the top. So I kind of made my own little interpretation of them, and I kind of like the way that looks. It looks so cool. Adds that little bit of extra detail. Also, there was some weapons. I put some weapons on the rack, and then it looks like there's a couple of pamphlets or leaflets or something here up against the wall, so I added those in there, which looks really awesome. Little modifications I did add it just because it does have iron bar looking things, so I did add a couple on the top just to add a little bit more detail there, and that looks really, really cool. And then around the side, everything here is looking so awesome. I broke up the walls a little bit, make it look a little bit more worn in and broken down, and that looks awesome. If you notice, there's some stuff going on over there in the inside, and we have this little pop-out log. Now, it looks more like the picture because this was kind of more in the back. Since we made the roof a little bit too big, I couldn't put it exactly where I really wanted it, which would have been like probably right here. But putting it a little higher looks really cool. So imagine that's like a sign saying, hey, this is like a blacksmith or something. Come on in. But let me show you what we got. So different ways in. Let's start out right here in the front. Now, as you come on in, I made this into like a little bit of a kitchen area. So we have ourselves our little cooking station over here, a little sink right there on the side, some shelving, and it looks awesome. Our seating area over here, armor stand here on the side. And then this is like a little bit of a pantry area, and then you can also leave through here. which is super cool. We have different entrances, different exits, and I just love that about a build. As far as the ceiling, we have just some trapdoors and slabs on the top. And then over here, we have a nice little seating area. You can sit down, chill, relax right here in front of the fireplace, which is really awesome. Then we have ways up. You can go up, well, just this side. The other one is fake. I just did it for symmetry. But up here, we have ourselves a nice little bedroom, little bed right here with some storage, a writing desk, another fireplace. Fireplaces everywhere. Fireplaceception, baby. It's so cool. And I love the way this ceiling is all set up. This would have been the thatch roof section, which is really awesome. Then, as we get out of here, we come around. There's only one way up to the second floor, which is this little step up. So let's go up here to the top. So as you come up to the top, coming on in, we have different elevations. And I love the... Hello? How is that even a thing? I was stuck. I love different elevations indoors. I hardly ever do them, but I really would love to. As you come on in, we have a step up that kind of gets you up to this section, which is really, really cool. Over here, we have ourselves another little seating area right here with a little library on the side, a desk, and more books here on the corner. And then we come out to the balcony, and we have this little spot. In the concept art, there's a big opening here, so I kind of left it. You could definitely continue putting more fences here, but it does look like an open spot right here, which is cool. I left it. That's fine. But then over here, as you come back down, that's so cool. Little section over here, and then we can curve around. We have a spiral staircase, and this gets us upstairs to the little broken area, kind of like a little storage area here with just some barrels, some chests, cauldron, a skeleton there. We got a bell. We got a couple little bits of just random junk down here, which is cool. And that just made a flop flop. Hold on. Flop flop. That's cool. That's super awesome. But what do you guys think, man? We got all of this off concept art, off something you can just easily Google, check out, and then make your own interpretation out of it. What do you guys think? This was so awesome. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this. If you want to see more videos of me taking some concept art and then flipping it, make it into a Minecraft build. Also, I want to challenge you guys. How about this? If you made it this far towards the video, I got a little bit of a challenge for you guys. Go ahead, find any kind of concept art that you want, anywhere online, Pinterest, Google, ArtStation, wherever. Find a cool piece of concept art and create a Minecraft build out of that. And then send me pictures. Send me the concept art and your final picture. Send it to me on Twitter. That's probably the best place because then I can retweet it and then all my friends can see it. And then we're going to go ahead and see what kind of inspiration you guys got and what did you build out of that. Do that for me right now. Go follow me on Twitter. Let's do that. And then if anything, on the next video we do about concept art and remaking stuff, I'll feature you guys, all the ones that you guys send me. So do that. That's super cool. And that'll be awesome. But I'm out of here for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you got some inspiration. And I'll see you guys on the next Minecraft video. Goodbye.